He came home from Disney World with a Star Wars shirt, a Mickey hat, and a trading pin lanyard. And that's all it took to make his little sister burst into tears. Not because he'd done something wrong. Not because he rubbed it in. No. Because his life, for a brief moment, looked magical, and hers didn't. And now, my wife wants to leave him behind on our next family vacation, to even the score. And I'm just sitting here, stunned, wondering, what exactly are we trying to teach our children? Because if this is fairness, it feels a whole lot like cruelty. It started a few months ago, back in March. My son had just turned 13, that golden age where childhood starts folding into something deeper. He's got a best friend, a good kid, from a well-off family. His parents decided to celebrate their son's 13th birthday with a huge party. One of those blowout events where the entire family's invited. Me, my wife, both our kids. But that wasn't the whole thing. As part of the celebration, the friends' parents were also taking their son to Disney World, and they invited our son to come along too. Expenses paid. It was a massive gift, a generous one, and an exciting opportunity for our son, one he'd remember for the rest of his life. But when I told my wife about it, I could see hesitation spread across her face. Her first reaction wasn't joy for our son. It was worry. Not about safety or supervision. About fairness. She said it wouldn't be right to let our son go when our 9-year-old daughter, who absolutely adores Disney and princesses, wouldn't get to go too. I told her, gently but firmly, that we can't hold back one child just because the other doesn't share the same opportunity. That's not fairness. That's deprivation. Our daughter will have her moments. She'll get her chances. If we start saying no, just to keep everything even, we'll wind up saying no to everything. Eventually, she agreed, reluctantly. Before our son left, I gave him some money to buy his sister souvenirs. Just a few small things to show he was thinking of her. The friend's parents even pitched in, getting extra gifts he could bring home to her. I thought it was sweet, thoughtful, a way to bridge the gap and make her feel included. But when he came home, wide-eyed and sun-kissed, wearing his Star Wars shirt and Mickey ears, our daughter broke down sobbing. Maybe it was the side of joy she didn't get to feel. Maybe it was seeing her big brother live out a dream she hadn't yet touched. I don't know. But the tears came fast, and they came hard. Later that night, my wife sat beside me and said flatly, "We made a mistake. We never should have let him go." I thought the conversation ended there. But I was wrong. This summer, my brother-in-law, who's financially comfortable, invited our whole family to stay at a beach house he'd rented. A little summer send-off, a chance to rest, connect, be together. It should have been a moment of joy, something simple. But instead, my wife blindsided me. She said she wanted to take only our daughter, that our son should stay behind with my father. To even the score, she said. I asked her to repeat it, because I couldn't believe what I'd just heard. She looked me in the eye and said it again. To even the score. As if joy is a currency. As if love is something you measure out with teaspoons and tally marks. As if our daughter's moment of sadness meant our son deserved to be excluded from a family vacation. And let's be clear, this isn't a trip with friends. This isn't someone else's birthday party. This is a family vacation. I told her absolutely not. I said, we are their parents. We don't play favorites. We don't punish our children for being lucky. I reminded her, Being invited to a birthday trip by a friend is not the same as being left behind while your entire family goes to the beach without you. It's not even close. She got angry. She said I was being unfair, that I didn't understand how deeply our daughter had been hurt. But I do understand. I understand exactly what's happening. Our daughter had an emotional moment, a very human one. She was sad. She was disappointed. She saw something beautiful that she didn't get to have, and that hurt. That's okay. We held her. We comforted her. We gave her space for those feelings. But what we didn't do, and what I refuse to do, is turn that sadness into a weapon, a reason to hurt someone else. Because that's what this is. This isn't balance. This is vengeance dressed up as parenting. Our son didn't do anything wrong. He didn't brag. He didn't gloat. He bought his sister gifts. He thought of her the whole time. He came home happy, and maybe a little changed, a little older, a little more in awe of the world. And now, his mother wants to leave him behind, alone, because she's afraid of feelings she doesn't want to manage. And what happens next time? When he gets a college acceptance letter, and she doesn't. When he finds love, and she feels lonely. Do we keep trying to even the score until neither of them is allowed to thrive? Is that what we're teaching our kids? That joy must always be matched with pain? That no one can have more than the other, even for a moment? That you must apologize for being chosen? I looked at my wife, and I saw something that scared me. She wasn't seeing our son. She was seeing a ledger, and she was trying to balance it. But our children are not numbers. They are hearts. Soft, open, growing hearts. And those hearts will remember. They will remember the time they were celebrated, or shamed, included, or cast out. They'll remember who stood up for them, and who didn't. I won't let my son be punished for being lucky. I won't let his joy be turned into guilt. I won't let a family vacation become a quiet exile. I won't stand by while my wife teaches our daughter that her pain is more important than her brother's presence. And so I told her, this isn't happening. We are all going, together, or not at all. She's angry. She says I'm being stubborn, that I'm choosing him over her. But she's wrong. I'm choosing all of us. I'm choosing to protect what's sacred. Because one day, our son will look back. And if he'd been left behind, if he'd watched his family drive away without him, laughing and packing sunscreen and beach towels while he stayed home with his grandfather, he would have remembered that. And he would have asked why. And the only answer would have been, because you were lucky once. So, am I the asshole? Was I wrong to say no? To protect my son from being cast aside? To stop my wife from turning sadness into punishment? Or was I simply doing what every parent must eventually do? Choose the harder path. The one that teaches compassion, not comparison. The one that says, we don't always get what we want, but we don't hurt others just to feel better. I don't know, but I do know this. If love means anything at all, it means you never leave your child behind. Not like that. Not for that reason. This one cuts deep. Because it isn't just about Disney, or beach houses, or souvenirs. It's about what we pass on. The silent rules we teach our children about fairness, about love, about who matters and who doesn't. Sometimes, the worst wounds don't come from what we deny. They come from what we allow. The cracks we let form between siblings. The quiet exclusions. The whispered lies we tell ourselves to justify it all. It's only fair. It's just this once. But kids remember. Not always the words, but always the feeling. So, If you're listening to this, ask yourself, who in your life was left behind, and who fought to keep you in the picture? What kind of legacy are we building? Not just as parents, but as people. Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you've ever had to fight to be seen in your own family, you're not alone. This is AITA Story Vault, where every story is a mirror. And sometimes what we see is hard, but it matters.